Today's movie, hey, wait a minute, what is hell yeah Danny doing in this flick? Welcome to Sick Flicks, where I take a deep dive into the cinematic sewer to help you embrace your inner gore geek. I'm Mike Bracken, aka the Horror Geek, and today we're tackling Ciro Ippolito's Alien 2, On Earth. Marketed as a sequel to Ridley Scott's Alien, this film has a really strange history. 20th Century Fox wanted to sue Ippolito's production for using Alien in the title. Too bad for them, other works predating their film had already used Alien in the title. Years later, Ippolito wanted to sue the makers of The Descent, arguing they'd ripped off his film. Needless to say, he lost. Beyond that, Ippolito initially wanted Mario Bava to direct, but Bava turned him down. He hired another director, but quickly fired him and took over directorial duties on his own. But enough about that. Can Alien 2 On Earth earn the coveted 5 barf bag rating? Let's get to the gore and find out. Oh, and before we get started, today's video is sponsored by Skillshare, the online learning community where the creatively curious can explore their passions and learn new skills. Whether you're interested in learning about productivity, design, filmmaking, or any other creative endeavor, Skillshare has thousands of courses that will allow you to explore your creativity, level up your abilities, or just satisfy your curiosity. Personally, I'm always interested in upping my YouTube skills, so I'm constantly referencing Script Shoot and Edit with MKBHD. Marquez Brownlee is one of this platform's biggest stars with over 13 million subscribers, so he clearly has some insights about growing a channel. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned YouTube pro, MKBHD's course walks you through the entire process step by step. From the obvious things like scripting, filming, and editing to more nuanced topics like hooking your audience and growing your channel. If you want to learn the ins and outs of creating YouTube content, Marquez has you covered. Skillshare is curated specifically for learning, meaning there are no ads and they're always launching new premium classes so you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. Sound interesting? Well, I've got good news. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare so you can start exploring your creativity today. Thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. And now, let's get bloody. We fade in on this sign and say this is a bad sign, but we don't really know it yet. And then we get some stock footage. This is basically a boiler room of people making spam calls about your car's extended warranty. I used to have a satellite dish like this, but I made them take it back when they sent me a bill. They told me it would be on the house. Ah yeah, top-notch form already. And so far, this entire movie is stock footage. Wonder how they avoided multiple copyright claims. In space, no one can hear you shave. And stock footage the movie continues. They just got all of this off story blocks. Here's a live look in the control room. Can we drop in some stock footage of a helicopter here?
Okay, that'll do.
See, I wasn't kidding. And let's go live to the studio with Edward Mannix.
What do you figure to use if she doesn't show up?
It's definitely Mannix's voice. Over in another movie, alright ramblers, let's get rambling. I hope whoever this is going to drive us over to the interesting part of the movie. I do like that director Ciro Ippolito made the cameraman stay behind to make sure the garage door actually closed. I'd have wondered about that for the rest of this movie. Maybe we could just go back to the stock footage. I guess the movie heard me. Well, sure, since nothing else is happening, I guess we might as well go to the credits. In keeping with this film's theme, Alien 2's credits will also be presented over stock footage. And the rest will be scored by a Grateful Dead cover band. I'm not seeing Sigourney Weaver anywhere. I will say it's been a while since we've driven through the credits in a movie. I hope we take the scenic route. Yeah, definitely no one trying to convince you they're an American here. These names are almost stereotypically Italian. Eventually, our two movies converge at the TV studio. And here's Mannix, with maybe the greatest line read in movie history.
Hi there.
Hi there, I'm Edward Mannix. You might remember me from doing dubbing work in movies like New York Ripper. Man, look at that sweet green screen. It's like they're actually in a cave. Anyway, this is all just a riveting interview about cave exploration. She's like, I didn't really want to be a spelunker, but eventually I caved. And if you watch carefully, you can see the exact second her battery died. Straight to sleep mode. And back to stock footage. Are we sure Bruno Mattei didn't make this? If the Village People had a helicopter pilot in the group, it probably would have looked like this dude. Well, that movie was a dud. Let's see if we can drive into a better one. We've still got gas. See, they just found the boat from Zombie. Things are already looking better. Hey, who's that ruggedly handsome sexual deviant driving the truck? It's Danny.
Hell yeah.
No, really, it's Danny. Since Alien 2 is only 84 minutes long, we're going to need to pad the runtime whenever we can. So here's a random kid. These guys are rowing ashore. You could say this is pretty awesome. And it turns out this guy's basically Dr. Phil.
You're not the only one with problems. You've got to learn to live with them.
And just like that asshole Dr. Phil, he bails without giving her any real help.
If it happens again, what am I supposed to do?
Look, it's getting late. I've got to go. Sorry, honey.
Nah, fuck it, dude. Let's go bowling. I'd like to point out, we're like 20% of the way through this movie, and I've seen 0 aliens. Yeah, sure. Let's shoot a scene from behind the bowling pins. I mean, why not? We're gonna fill a lot of time, and the script for this movie is 3 pages, 2 of which are just the title and the address of a stock footage company. Here's young Keith Sweat getting into the groove. Oh, I guess our leads decided to go bowling. I mean, why not? Nothing else is happening. Maybe if they film here long enough, they'll stumble into a plot. Over the line, Smokey! Dude, mark it 0. They head out because the movie is clearly not here, and hey, look, it's Michele Soavi on the left. Eventually, they make a pit stop, and Suavi's like, hey, movie plot, are you in here? While Suavi's looking for the plot inside, Thelma's looking for it outside. It's good they split up to find the movie. They'll cover more ground this way. Plot, are you out here? Then Danny shows up. Come back, Thelma. I think we found the plot over here. Maybe they're just shooting another Jaws ripoff here, too. Ah, crap. Someone left one of the eggs from Luigi Cozzi's contamination on the beach again.
Lucy!
I'm home. Sweet, I think we just wandered into the opening of Maniac. I bet Jill Spinell's hiding out here somewhere. Anyway, she eventually finds Lucy, who's apparently put raw meat on her face. I probably can't show you this. Prude tube. Back in our other movie, our heroes continue their search for a plot. You guys are getting colder. But we do get some exposition. Turns out those stock footage astronauts are missing.
When the prop men opened the capsule, there was no trace of the astronauts.
Jesus Christ, movie, can we please get on with it? I was promised aliens on Earth, not endless meandering. Case in point, this shot lasts for almost 20 seconds. I am not joking. Hey, look, I know we need to find the plot, but would it be okay if we stopped here and grabbed a J&B or something? All this narrative meandering is thirsty work. Nah, really, movie, just take your time. I'm free all day, and this is absolutely captivating. Jesus, they're really stopping for drinks. These guys are cave explorers, so I bet they like their J&B on the rocks. Anyway, Suavi's like, I'm gonna keep looking for the narrative, so just enjoy your booze. But before he can resume the search, he's gotta take the Browns to the Super Bowl. Come on, let me in. These convenience store sushi rolls are staging an intestinal revolt. Man, sure looks like some giant bunnies have been doing their business out here. It's like Night of the Lepus. You kids even remember Night of the Lepus? Christ, I'm old. And now the movie can't even be bothered to focus on the characters. I feel like Alien 2 has just given up. Just film their feet. No one cares. They head out and Soavi shares his discovery. Oh, sweet. I always wanted a giant fossilized rabbit turd. Eventually, they arrive at a cave. They find the cast of The Descent down here. I love that Ippolito almost assuredly just put some styrofoam rocks in the foreground and had the actors crawl around on the studio floor for this shot. I'm guessing many of you hadn't heard of this movie before. I can understand why. It's pretty underground. Wait, did we just jump over to the laser light show at the planetarium? I'm so confused right now. I guess this is supposed to be exciting. I mean, I can't see a damn thing, but at least the Kids Bop version of Goblin on the soundtrack is decent. And I guess we're just gonna watch them drop into this cave in real time too. Ciro Ippolito is just phoning it in at this point. At the bottom, Suavi's gonna set the mood with some romantic candlelight. Rawr. Wait a minute, did he bring a typewriter down here? What the fuck? Dear Diary, I finally hit rock bottom of this cave. The next day, they're out for more exploring. It's nice that they didn't even bother to buy lights. It's a movie, but really, who needs to see things? Fun fact, director Ciro Ippolito basically spent a chunk of the production budget on a luxury car for himself. They probably just couldn't afford lights. Maybe they could have lit this with the headlights from his new ride. I mean, I haven't seen this much awkward fumbling around in the dark since the bus ride home from grad night my junior year. Oh sweet, look at these awesome rock formations. They're all made from bat poop. They stop for some selfies, and this guy asks what we're all thinking.
How can there be too much light down here?
And now, Lemmy Winks makes his way into the large intestine. Oh shit, her booger is alive. This is how the world ends. Humanity is wiped out by a giant space mucus. Look at her. She's like, this is absolutely fascinating. You get that one, we can be besties. And this booger's alive, like in those Mucinex commercials. Hey, that's not very nice. Then it gets worse.
Where is Jill?
She's fallen!
And she can't get up. Too bad she doesn't have a life alert bracelet. Maybe they should sponsor some episodes. This guy does eventually find her, but he needs to cuddle before he saves her. Just hold me. After some jibber jabber, the rescue plan shifts into high gear. This dude is almost at the end of his rope. Anyway, Danny's going deep in the hole.
Hell yeah.
No, not like that, you pervs. He's rappelling into this deep pit. And like everything else in this movie, I guess we're gonna watch this all happen in real time. Riveting. Hope you brought your Dramamine too, because now we've got shaky cam. They're pulling her up and they've got the lines anchored in the rocks. And this looks pretty safe, but I hope they're not taking anything for granted. I mean, if that thing lets go, she could be in some cave danger. This is a scary situation, but it looks like everyone's putting on a cave face. And we're still rescuing her. Any day now, movie. I guess it's nice that he's gonna let her down easy, though. Tarantino cam. And now we're just panning slowly across black screen. No one will be seated during Alien 2's terrifying black screen sequence. I don't even know what we're looking at. Is it a shoe? A shower curtain? Your guess is as good as mine. Wait, is it a pleather jacket? Oh, it's a face. I don't think it's supposed to move like that. Well, it's not quite the chest burster in Alien, but fuck it. At this point, I'll take it. And it's eating this guy's neck. Neck meat. I'd say heads up, but this one is falling in the wrong direction. At any rate, you could say these guys definitely have more than one foot in the cave at this point. Then it gets worse because they make the always wise decision to split up. This is great news. Now we have two groups to watch as they do absolutely nothing. I mean, you could call these guys a bunch of Neanderthals. Maybe they're going to his man cave. At any rate, you know what they say about getting trapped in a cave? It's generally a minor inconvenience. God damn, I'm really on a roll today. And now Danny makes his move. He's a cave explorer, so you know he's good at bedrocking. Over in another part of the cave, things are getting worse. Her Game Boy Advance isn't working. Just take out the cartridge and blow on it. Works every time. But before she can do that, she gets attacked by whatever this is. Seriously, what the hell is that? Kinda looks like one of Bruno Mattei's rats. He's clearly the Michael Jordan of rats, too. That thing covered some crazy distance in the air. And they broke the GBA, so now our spelunkheads are totally lost. And they're gonna split up, too. I feel like we're off to a real rocky start here. My feeling is confirmed when after another 5 minutes of filler, she gets caught between a rock and a hard place. Then she and Soavi wind up dead. How? Hell if I know. He shot this in such close-up that you can't see shit. From there, George Michael stumbles over this rock. Dude's never gonna dance again for sure. I'd also like to point out that this guy's name is Cliff, in a movie about cave exploring. I hope the rest of the cast was named things like Shaft and Cole and Chris Rock. Anyway, I don't know about you guys, but I'm starting to suspect we're never going to see any actual aliens in this movie. Oh wait, may have spoken too soon. Looking like an episode of The Blue Girl up in here with all these tentacles. Cliff eventually makes it back, but it's not a cliff, it's a bluff. Then it's time for another great moment in horror film acting.
You're not Cliff. You're not. You're not. You're not.
Yeah, this is legendarily terrible. And we're getting dangerously close to some Fulci eye zooms. I mean, what the hell is even happening here? When did this turn into scanners? Fulci eye shot. There it is. Jesus, it really did turn into scanners. His head totally explodes, and there's no chance YouTube has let me show you that. Not as good as the scanners effect, but still pretty solid. It's nice that this guy is wearing a red adjacent color since he rushes into certain doom like an extra on Star Trek. Then Alien 2 gets artsy. Slow motion running, fast running, fancy. And now they're on the surface? Look, I feel like this movie, which is wanted to chronicle every banal second of everything, just suddenly decided to skip over some very important stuff. I will say it's pretty bolder of them to crawl across these giant rocks. I could literally do this all day. They do eventually make it back to the Jeep. Shit, we've got like 15 minutes to kill. Maybe we can drive into a more interesting short film. Yeah, or maybe we can just kill the last 15 driving out of this one. Whatever. Or maybe they can just call in for something interesting to happen. Breaker 19, we're gonna need some new script pages. Copy? Except this happens.
It's dead.
Oh, just like your friends. From there, they head into town. This looks exactly like the gas station in The Hills Have Eyes. Place is empty, so Danny gets Ciro Ippolito on the phone. Look, Ciro, we've driven all over looking for an interesting plot. Can we just end this here? And the answer was apparently no, because we've got more driving. You know the shit has hit the fan because not even Walter and the dude are at the bowling alley. I would also like to point out that I'm delighted we're going to waste like 10 more minutes getting to the obvious swerve ending that the aliens have taken over while they were trapped in the cave. Maybe this is Maximum Overdrive Part 2 as well. All these machines seem to be working on their own. Uh-oh, I think Danny might just run into the bowling bag killer from Gutter Balls. And now we arrive at the riveting climax of Alien 2. I mean, I'm gonna assume it's riveting. It's too dark to actually see anything to know for sure. I have no clue what's happening at this point, but I sure hope she runs into a freeze frame when ground beef attacks. I can just see the meaning for this sequence. How can we shoot it from the monster POV? I got it, just put hamburger on the lens. Then it turns into a flock of seagulls video. Come on, freeze frame ending. Oh yeah, freeze frame and an Italian end card. This basically says you could be next. Next to what? Waste 84 minutes of my life watching this movie? Sorry, been there, done that. Then we get some more KTEL Records presents Goblin. It's not bad. So, what have we learned from Alien 2 on Earth? For starters, that the end of the world will be brought about by giant space boogers. That seems exciting. As mentioned earlier, Ippolito initially wanted Mario Bava to direct Alien 2, and it certainly would have been a better movie if he had. Bava passed though, and this is what we got. It's really more of an Alien ripoff in name than execution. The behind-the-scenes stories here are infinitely more interesting than anything in the actual film. But enough about that. Can Alien 2 kill enough spelunkers to earn a coveted 5 barf bag rating? Not a chance, but let's go to the gore card. In terms of gross anatomy, Alien 2 is a little light. We have some gooey tentacles, pulsating space boogers, a girl with no face, and that groovy exploding head, but that's it. The exploding head is pretty decent, but Ippolito skimps on showing most of the gore in the other scenes. That's a bummer. Because of that, I can only give Alien 2 on Earth a 2 barf bag rating. This is not a particularly sick flick. Looking for a better Italian Alien knockoff? Then be sure to check out my review of Contamination. You'll find a link here on the screen. I'll meet you over there. Until next time, I'm Mike Bracken, aka the Horror Geek, bringing you all the splatter that matters.